The dangers and hazards of cheerleading. Are you the type of person to think that cheerleading isn't a sport? By the end of this speech, I strongly feel that your opinion will be reconsidered once you are informed on the actual dangers and hazards cheerleading causes behind the scenes. While giving me your time and attention for these next few minutes, it is my job to not only tell you the dangers and hazards cheerleading causes, but to go into detail by explaining the number of hours cheerleading takes up, the required skills per level, and the amount of injuries that people are oblivious to. Although many believe that cheerleading is something like Girl Scouts and think it's just a club to be a part of in your free time, little do they know that because of cheerleading, we don't have any free time. Cheerleading is a sport that revolves around dedication and commitment, along with not having holiday breaks due to practices and having school and other requirements. On average, I spend 15 to 20 hours a week at the cheer gym for practice, plus other additional hours that are dedicated to bettering my skills outside of practice. Naturally, fatigue is something that comes with multiple hours of wear and tear on your body, creating danger if stunts and skills aren't performed and executed correctly. When someone is fatigued, usually sloppy technique is used to get the job done. Just like any other sport, sloppy technique creates a domino effect leading to injuries, sometimes severe. Doctors from the American Academy of Pediatrics state, during the fast-paced cheerleading routines, 96% of all concussions occur, along with 42% to 60% of all the injuries total in the sport. But what makes cheerleading cheerleading? The amount of hours spent in the gym for practice all goes towards a 2.5-minute routine rather than a 2 to 3 hour game like most sports. Many sports like football, basketball, baseball, volleyball, and soccer all require the same skills. The only thing that separates the teams by those sports are the different age groups, not the types of skills. With cheerleading, age doesn't determine what team you make, your skills do. There are 5 levels of cheerleading, with level 1 being the lowest and level 5 being the most advanced. For myself, I have been on a level 5 team for 8 out of the 15 years of my cheerleading career, and that's why I strongly believe that the higher level you're on, the more dangers and hazards you are exposed to. For a football player, when an injury occurs, it's usually made by a personal mistake or a one-to-one hit or tackle. As for cheerleading, someone can get injured by a personal mistake or by a whole team. For example, when your team's in the part of the routine where the pyramid is, if one person has the wrong grip or dips on the wrong count, it can put the whole team in danger of severe injury, especially when you have no control of the girl who's flying in the air. While each level requires a certain requirement of skills from jumps to tumbling to stunts and pyramids, the athletic ability and mental focus is something extremely important. Along with someone being fatigued or even when they're fresh, the focus has to be really centered on the right technique and the proper way of executing the skill. With the lack of focus, again, not only do you put yourself in danger, but your teammates as well. Dr. Frederick Muller says, if the skills continue to increase in difficulty without the correct coaching and execution, catastrophic injuries will continue to be a part of cheerleading. Every sport creates tons of injuries to multiple of athletes. Each sport has its own dangers and hazards, but people tend to overlook how dangerous competitive cheerleading actually is. It's been proven by not only doctors, but the government as well, that more cheerleading injuries occur than football injuries every year. For most sports, players play with protection like pads, gloves, shin guards, etc., and all of them stay on the ground 90% of the time. For cheerleading, we have no protection or padding, and our feet are off of the ground more than they are on it. And for some, they get thrown, tossed, or held over 15 feet off the ground with only 3 people to catch them. From concussions to broken bones to surgeries, I've experienced it all. 2 years ago, when I had back surgery due to cheerleading, my neurosurgeon, Dr. J, even said that he had never had to perform the surgery he did on me to any other athlete but one other cheerleader. Studies show that 28,000 cheerleaders went to the ER in 2005, and their rates continue to increase yearly. For some, these facts may be mind-blowing, but for the ones who go through it every day and experience it, it's so believable. The amount of false impressions society makes on competitive cheerleading is outrageous. I get told daily that cheerleading isn't a sport, even after the government, a few months ago, confirmed it to be the most dangerous teenage sport out there. Being able to dedicate and commit not only your mind but your body to the numerous hours a week of practices Motivating yourself to get this required skills and technique, as well as focusing on your execution and pertaining your body to all the safety precautions and risks all at the same time, aren't even all the dangers and hazards that makes cheerleading, a sport that sounds so unathletic or easy. Competitive cheerleading today is overlooked by many and requires much more athletic and acrobatic ability than just your average pom-pom squad.